So Brian, thanks for joining us today. As we go into the remaining weeks of the 2020 election, over the next couple episodes, we want to talk about a lot of topics relating to the election. But before we get to those, I first wanted to start talking about the Supreme Court, because just about 2 weeks ago, September 18th, we lost an icon. Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away at 87 years old, having spent 27 years serving on the Supreme Court.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
With her passing begins the process of having to fill her seat. And I do want to get into what that process looks like from a nomination perspective and confirmation perspective. But first, I want to just ask some generic questions. The first being, what is the role of the Supreme Court?
The role of the Supreme Court is to act as the final court of appeal in the United States. The Supreme Court has the final say about how federal laws are interpreted and what the Constitution means. In particular, it has the final say regarding whether or not a law or an executive action, such as an executive order, is consistent with the Constitution or constitutional.
And how is it decided what cases they take on?
Well, from almost all cases, they decide themselves. They hold regular conferences at which they decide among the thousands and thousands of petitions they receive which they will accept. It takes at least 4 justices in favor to schedule a case for argument.
And how many cases do they take on in a given year?
About 80, which is down from earlier in the century. The number of petitions they receive, though, is 7,000 to 8,000.
Who makes up the Supreme Court?
Well, justices, 9 of them. The number of justices is set by law. It's not dictated or set in the Constitution. It has varied. The first half of the 19th century, it varied from 6 to 10, but it's been 9 since 1869.
Are there some qualifications for someone to become a justice?
No. The Constitution doesn't set any requirements or qualifications. There are no qualifications set in law. The president can nominate, at least, anyone he likes, no matter what their qualification.
So when a Supreme Court justice does pass, what happens next?
Well, the president nominates a replacement, usually from a short list that's been prepared in advance by his staff, often in consultation with outside organizations like the Federalist Society, and then sends the nomination to the Senate Judiciary Committee. The FBI does a background check into the candidate's personal and professional background. The Judiciary Committee does the same thing. The nominee testifies and is questioned by members of the committee about his or her judicial philosophy or past Supreme Court decisions. The committee then takes a vote and issues what's called a recommendation to the full Senate. The recommendation can be favorable. We think you should approve this person, unfavorable, or no recommendation at all. Following that, the majority leader of the Senate scheduled debates on the nominee. Debate is held until a vote of cloture is taken. Cloture actually limits debate to 30 more hours, and after which follows a formal vote on the nomination, yea or nay. The nominee is confirmed if he or she receives a simple majority. If there's a tie, the vice president can break it.